My name's Louis Large, 27 years old, racing from Sunderland in the northeast of England.
So I'm Matthew Easton, I'm 21 and I'm from Blythe, Northumberland.
So I started karting 15 years ago, 12-year-old when I first got into a kart. It was at Warden Law, which was our local circuit, still is. We started in WTP Cadet, which doesn't actually exist anymore. It's been replaced by the IAME Cadet class. But yeah, that was where we started out.
So I started karting back in 2009. I was 9 years old at the time in Coma Cadet. It's Warden Law, Karting North East.
The highlight of the year for us goes back quite a bit, which I don't know if it's a highlight or not, but we qualified pole at Clay, track that we've normally struggled at. So it was nice to start the year off strong. It's been a very competitive year, so I suppose there's quite a lot of highlights we could take, but that one stands out a little bit.
My highlight of the year this year is definitely had to be in the double podium at Wilton Mill. There hasn't really been many other good finishes this year in terms of any wins, final wins or anything like that, so double podium at Wilton was a good round for us.
For me, to win the British 2021 Karting Championships again this year, I suppose it would sort of solidify what we won in 2018. So we won it in 2018. It wasn't MSUK, it was a different sort of pre-series, if you will, but I suppose to win it this year would really establish that we did collect what we did, and I suppose it would just be a nice way to round off the year with a very competitive race and with a very strong grid.
To become 2021 British Kart Champion, it would mean a lot. It's been a hard year this year. My dad's been ill this year, so I've been on the spanners myself for a few rounds, and then hired a mechanic for the last 2 rounds. So it would mean a lot. It's been a lot of hard work this year, and a lot's went into it.
Well, there we go. That was filmed on Friday. Dan Tate, I think, has just snuck ahead of both Louis Large and Matthew Easton at that one. But again, Dan, a bit camera shy. Didn't want to have this Callum Hargrave on the stream. The Callum Hargrave driver development and a couple of his there. He's just noticed he's there. Paul Barnacote was up there. We have to say we thank the Trent Valley Kart Club all the time for the Marshall team, but the circuit here, that's down to Paul Barnacote Services, Ben Barnacote's dad. It's always looking immaculate, and you know, we have to just say a big thank you to Paul Barnacote and his team there for always providing us with a spot-on facility. And now we look, Rotax 177. There is Dan Tate. Now, by my calculations, he's got 824 points. Louis Large has got 814. However, Louis Large has got a drop of 58, so even if he wins the Louis Large, he can only gain 7 points on Dan Tate. We will wait and see, but the rumours around the paddock is that that man there who is looking like he is going to become the 2021 Wera Tours British Kart Champion in Rotax 177. There is Phil Howarth and the real number 1. But I'm noticing that there's Darren, big Dazzer H there with that handlebar moustache. That's superb. That deserves a programme of its own. There is the ASR Racing. That's Joe Hunt, guest driver this round. Joe's had a bit of a strut, and Joe's, good to see Joe out there. And hopefully back for a full season. There is Callum Porter. Ooh, new threads for Callum Porter. He obviously went out in the pre-final and got his Ultimate R race suit too wet to continue. So rather than get pneumonia, he's got a different race suit on for this one. There's the number 97 of Luke Oliver, and the number 3 of Matthew Easton again. Matthew Easton saying he's Gary Sang on the spanners for him. Said that Matthew's dad has been a bit unwell this year, so he hasn't been able to mechanic. So Matthew's been doing his own mechanics. He's got Gary Sang there doing the spanners at the end of the season. Is it going to be a title? Well, Matthew Easton's got 812 points, so he's 2 points behind Louis Large. Oh, here we go. 8 drivers. Sadly, we lost Sam Winter after we commentated on the pre-final. It's going to be Louis Large and Matthew Easton on the front row, Henry Ayres and Luke Oliver on the second row, Daniel Tate and Callum Porter on row 3, Philip Howarth and Joe Hunt on row number 4. We started the season at Clay Pigeon. Daniel Tate won that. Daniel Tate then won a very close one at Mansell Raceway in round number 2. Henry Ayres came back strong after missing Mansell with a rib injury, took a double win at Wilton Mill and also won at Warden Law. Those 3 wins have put Henry Ayres on a total of 6 British Kart Championship final race wins. If he takes a 7th here in this next race, that would put him 4th on the all-time list behind Kai Hunter, Danny Curl and Oliver Greenall. This could be Henry Ayres' last race. He's hoping for somehow to get a ticket to watch the grand finals in Bahrain. He couldn't go last year because the event was cancelled, but we'll see what happens. Dan Tate looks like he's going to take the 177 ticket. Can he become the first driver to win it as a mechanic with Mark Kimber in 2016 and then as a driver in his own right 5 years later? If Strawberry Racing win this race, they take their 11th win in the British Championship this year. That beats Fusion, who have got 10, and that will make Strawberry very, very happy indeed. In this class, since the start of 2019, KR Sport have got 6 wins, all with the number 1 plate right by there, Henry Ayres. Dan Holland Racing have got 3. Team Clay Racing have got 3. Strawberry have got 2. We've had 2 wins for privateers. Coles Racing have 2s. GMS Karting, Tim Wilson Motorsport, Tom Smith International have all had a race win. At the last round, Ultimate R, Callum Porter's team, they took their first ever British Kart Championship podium with Porter at Warden Law. Can they take a second? Let's find out. The 2021 Rotax 177 British Championship finale is about to get underway here at PF International. Into the tram lines, 8 drivers, 15 minutes, lights are green, let's go racing. Into turn number 1, it's a great start from Easton, who sweeps across the front of the poleman, Louis Large, and under the bridge. We're all through safely. Dan Tate is in 4th, 5th position, running a little bit wide, but that's okay.
Luke Oliver not with the best of starts in that race. He unfortunately was a little bit wide into the entry of the first corner, got caught out in that wet part of the track, and then unfortunately just understeered and then cut across the back. But he's still there in 3rd place as the rest of the field come through. And here comes Louis Large. He throws the dummy. He went for the outside. It was covered, and then he slides it down the inside and a bit of side potting. And off the track there goes the number 3 of Matthew Easton. He gets back on track, but albeit a couple of places down now. And here comes the real number 1. He's going for that number 1 position in this race, but can he do it?
To quote Philip Howarth himself, that move was easy. Up to 4th position. There's Henry Ayres, the number 1. He's going to be relinquishing that number 1 plate. Again, that rib injury which kept him on a Mansell has stopped him from mounting a full-on championship challenge. But they'll complete the end of lap number 1. We'll give you the championship positions when they complete this lap. But it's going to be the Coles Racing Brigade. Large leading Oliver, leading Tate in 3rd, Howarth in 4th. Then it is Ayres and Easton and Porter and Hunt. End of lap number 1. Championship positions are as follows. On your screens, Tate 826, Large 821, Easton not adding to his championship score because he is dropping back down the order. Ayres is 4th, Porter is 5th, and Sam Winter will drop to 6th. Howarth will finish 7th. McConnell, Edwards and Nathan Chafer will be this year's nationally ranked drivers as things stand. But again, Tate can just... So at the moment, if Dan Tate does pick up any positions, he is going to add to his championship scores. Louis Large, however, so there we are. That's confirmation for you, boys and girls. Louis Large cannot score more than 821 points. Dan Tate started this race on 824. You're looking at him on the screen, number 29. Tate, as long as he doesn't get excluded, he is your 2021 champion. It came down to just before the last race of the season. But there now. So it's all down to who's going to win this race. Philip Howarth on the comp kart chassis. Looking down, he's behind Henry Ayres there. He's been struggling for power all weekend, has Howarth. But he's going to try and make it best in these greasy conditions where it's all about manhandling the kart. Now, what was it? Tipping and buffering?
Yes.
Tipping and buffeting.
Tipping and buffeting, yes.
Buffeting is what the 177s do a lot of.
Yes.
And tipping is what they do at the end of the buffet.
Yes. So, yeah, you're buffeting if you're at the back and you're pushing too hard. And this, right here, that's tipping.
Okay.
There we go.
There we are.
Just tipping it into the corner.
According to Sam Winter, who's
now,
I mean, if he's driving home and watching this, please
He's actually still here.
He is. I was just thinking, please don't type in and comment in if you're driving home and watching this. So, there is Louis Large. And again, you said, it's going back to the start of the season. He polled at a Clay Pigeon, which was a track they usually struggled at. Looking back at 2020, well, the last time the 177s were here was at the start of 2019. Nathan Chafer won the first final. Levi King won the second final. It was a double-header, so 2 complete rounds. Levi King won the second final. James Beecroft, Chris Wright, Michael Cheek on the podium that day. Oh, no, the real number 1 out of the race. The comp cart has cried enough. He's having a little look. I got a feeling that his Facebook Live video later on is going to be memorable. Maybe not for the right reasons, but it's going to be memorable. It looks like Howarth is going to end his season in there. And is that Louis Large going slowly? Coming over the bridge, is that Louis Large looking like he's a bit down on power? Luke Oliver challenging for the race lead. And here comes Tate. Can Tate end his season with a win? He's gone for third, he's gone for second. Oh, he's going to get caught on the outside. A pincer movement there from the 2 Coles carts.
They were indeed, yeah. He went for that cheeky dive down the inside. Unfortunately, it didn't pay off. Holds on to that 3rd place spot, though. Has to fall backwards. And keep an eye on Henry Ayres as well, because he's just set the fastest lap of the race on that last one. 15.50. Tate could be going down the order a little bit more if he can keep that pace up. So, still here at the front, Louis Large holding on to it, but for how much longer? Despite the bad start that Luke Oliver had, where he went down a few positions, you know, he's come back in this one, and he's fighting strong, and he's holding on to that 2nd place and potentially going for that race lead. But at the moment, it's still Louis Large leading the way at the end of lap number 4. They'll cross the line less than 10 minutes to go, plus that 1 additional lap. And like we were saying, Tate just needs to finish this race.
And what about Henry Ayres? So Henry Ayres in that number 1. He wants to finish at the top of the podium, finish his season. There's Philip Howarth out of the race. It's not happened for him this weekend. That's Tom Adams, his dad, coming over to have a chat with him. Chris and Philip saying, she broke. Aye, that's not easy. But top 4. Now, Henry Ayres, imagine that. That's a psychological thing. If he is going to retire at the end of the year, then, Tate goes to move again. And again a pincer movement. They almost wiped his nose for him there, did the 2 Coles carts. But Ayres, he wins. He goes, right, I'm not champion this year. I'm number 1. Hey, I missed a round. That's the reason. There's your championship win, Dan.
Yeah.
And look at this. Louis Large, Dan Tate up the inside to 2nd. Well, the 177s, the grid has been small this year, but the action has been intense. And what can Henry Ayres do? He's looking for win number 7.
He is indeed,
now,
yeah.
To finish off your career, 1 win behind Danny Curl all time. That is not bad going at all. Let's have a look. I mean, the only drivers with more... Well, I mean, Kai Hunter's had 10 wins, but I mean, Danny Curl and Ollie Greenall, double British champions in the last 3 years. And now Luke Oliver moves up there. Well, Luke Oliver's stats, he's had a win and a 2nd place all the way back in 2019. Luke Oliver won at Glenagorse in 2019 and finished 2nd at Rowra back in 2019. So it's been a while since he's been on a British podium, and now Louis Large has dropped to 4th.
He has indeed, yeah. He's falling back down the order now. Dan Tate back up into P2 as he dives down the inside again. This time he won't get the pincer movement, but he will get his nose swiped across there by Luke Oliver, who gets a mega drive out of hairpin 1. I think Dan Tate is going to need to maybe consider taking that outside line this time around, because look at the gap that's opened up now after that move.
Yeah, and I mean, talking about one-off drives, so Luke Oliver, this is his first appearance of the season. Well, Ian Branfield, he was a guest driver at Mansell, finished 2nd. Jack McConnell did a couple of guest rounds on his first outing of the season at Wilton Mill, finished 2nd. Luke Oliver, at the moment, first outing of the season, going to go one better, leads the way. And, there's a bit of an elbows out moment there. Louis Large passes Henry Ayres. Here comes Matthew Easton back into play. The top 5 are all together. Porter is 6th. Joe Hunt is 7th. Sadly, Philip Howarth out of the race. So we're down to 7. And any one of 5 can still win it with 7 minutes to go, Anthony.
Yep, they really could. And we'll find out who that is going to be after that 7 minutes, like you said. Here, though, Louis Large under pressure, though, from Ayres, because Ayres, like you say, he's been setting fastest lap after fastest lap. He still has the fastest lap of this race so far, and he's, at the moment, look at that, he's just giving He's just giving Large the nose, isn't he? He's just saying, right, I'm going to send you that way, and then I'm going to try and switch it back this way. And all being in that time, Matthew Easton went round the inside. But, yeah, he couldn't get the power out of the corner, unfortunately. So, again, exactly what we saw with Dan Tate earlier on. You try that inside line. It's very tempting because they go wide, but it's 3 wide here, 2 wide now into the braking zone. Easton down the inside, Large down into P5 now.
Now, of course, the 177 class, because the weight limit is higher, they've got that extra stability through the corner. They can actually be a little bit more aggressive on the throttle coming out of the corners because of the extra weight. And again, they're crisscrossing and chipping and changing all the way through this final. 6 minutes to go. There's Callum Porter, number 20 Ultimate R. Dan Tate is setting off after Luke Oliver. Tate has been given the signal, go. So, Strawberry Racing, they want win number 11 on the season. Somewhere in a kart workshop, Dan Hazelwood is watching with a green and white doll putting pins in it saying, no, 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 we don't want, Fusion want to be tied, Fusion want to be equal top winners of the season. It's all good friendly rivalry. But now here comes Tate. Luke Oliver hasn't won since August of 2019 in the British Championship. But Tate is closing in.
He is indeed, yeah. Just keep an eye on their racing lines as well, because obviously 2 different racing lines that they've got going into this one. Again, squirrely under braking. You just see, as soon as they tap the brakes, the back just wants to go on them. The back just wants to step out immediately. They've got to counter steer that one as they go into it. But Tate, look at that. He's closing. The gap says it's 0.6 of a second. That doesn't look like 0.6 of a second to me. That looks a lot less.
Looks like the 3 or 4 kart lengths at most. But of course, look at that. The track very, very greasy. Still very wet. You can see.
Yeah, they're avoiding that, aren't
offline. On to another lap. Lap times. 1 minute 15.35 for Luke Oliver. 1 minute 15.52 for Dan Tate. Henry Ayres, 1 minute 15.45. I tell you what, Ayres isn't done yet. Ayres has now got some clear track. And he is, I mean, let's get the rest of the 177, like, you know, dietary gags out of the way. Ayres is eating into that lead. Like a 177 driver eats into his dinner. Hungrily and quickly.
Oh, dear. Well, I wouldn't like to be you when this race is over. 4 minutes to go.
That's all right. As a 177 contender myself, that's all right.
You can get away with it.
That's okay, yes.
Yeah.
But I got to say, Luke Oliver is now he's weathering the storm. He's weathering the storm. He's got back into his rhythm. Tate, he closed in quite quickly, but now the gap is stabilising. The back end of the number 29 Strawberry Kart steps out. The number 97 Coles Kart looking planted, coming through Bobby Game corner. Tate is having to take a lot more curbs. Now, curbs in the wet are a very, very tricky proposition. Painted curbs, wet painted curbs, much more slippery than wet tarmac. But Henry Ayres, now look at Henry Ayres' lap time. It might not be the fastest, but it's going to be much faster than the top 2. Luke Oliver, 1:15.4, 1:15.0 for Henry Ayres. So Tate drops a second on that lap. He's fallen right back. The back end stepping out. Now, we saw that in the pre-final, Tate running off in the end. So maybe the setup has cried enough. Behind them, there's a battle for 4th place between Louis Large and Matthew Easton. They're both fading. Then it's Porter.
Tate's buffeting now.
And Porter's closing in on the number 3 of Easton, the number 8 of Large. So Callum Porter not, out of contention just yet. Leading privateer is Joe Hunt. Oh, wheel to wheel. Little bit of elbows.
No.
Here comes Large. Can he get it slowed down in the apex? Not quite. Easton gets the crossover. Perfect.
There we go. That's what you need there. So, again, chopping and changing all the way through. These drivers still giving us an excellent race with that 2.5 minutes to go. Plus the one additional lap. Never forget that one. Porter's closing in, though, as well. We saw Porter with mistakes earlier on in the day, of course. He had a couple of spins in, I think, the pre-final. I think he had a spin, didn't he, at the Fullerton S's. And again, side by side, side-podding their way through this final section. They'll creep into shot. There they are. And I tell you, that's a robust way to try and get past there. But Easton is wiser to it, and Large has to stay behind. But here comes Porter now down the inside of Large into turn 1. Gets that move done. Nicely timed, nicely done.
Last time I saw sticker swapping that aggressive, it was over the last shiny in the Panini World Cup '94 album. Football fans will get that reference.
Right, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not a football fan. So.
Yeah, but there we go. And Porter thinking, I'll have a bit of this, I'll have a bit of this. You know, we're going to pack the wagons away at the end of this one. You know, you don't have to worry about it. Let's have a go. Here's Louis Large, Porter on the outside, high, wide, and handsome. Is he going to stick it? Not quite this time. But yeah, you know, best rookie of the season, Callum Porter. You know, rookie of the year. You know, really getting aggressive. He's hanging on really well. At the start of the year, he was a little bit off the pace of everyone. Now he's joined the party in full swing, and that bodes well for next season.
It does indeed, yeah. It bodes very well for that one. And, of course, very much looking forward to next season. I'm sure a lot of these drivers, but we haven't got this season done yet. We have still got more races to come on this one, and still 1 minute plus one additional lap of this one again. Look at that Tate strike. Oh, this is getting a little bit closer there as well at the front. That is Henry Ayres, who's really closed in up on Dan Tate, and Porter has closed right back up again. Once more, but less than a minute to go then. And, well, what are the gaps looking like now? So it's about 1.3 seconds last time around. Dan Tate was a little bit faster, I will say. He was about 0.3 a lap faster than Luke Oliver that time around. And then Henry Ayres had pretty much identical lap time last time around as well. So they're all staying in that one place, but they're just edging a little bit closer. Just a smidge.
Well, the last time Coles Racing won a 177 round of the British Championship, August 2020 at Lydd, with Matthew Easton behind the wheels. He's obviously moved on to passenger, and Luke Oliver is about a lap and a half away. Tate looking to try and take the Strawberries 11th win and make them the most successful team in the UK this year. Oliver trying to take his first win in over 2 years and his team's first win in 18 months in this class. And Henry Ayres trying to round out his career with a 7th career win that will put him fourth on the all-time list, just behind Danny Curl and Oliver Greenall. There's a lot to play for in the final lap, even though the title's been decided. They're all watching on.
One of the Coles mechanics just fell over in the back area there.
Robin,
it was really eager.
Robin with excitement. Into the banking for the final time. It's Oliver, Tate and Ayres. Dan Tate's having a real good go. Dan Tate fastest lap of the race. And there he goes through turn 4. Tate up the inside. Oliver slides on the outside and maintains the lead.
Not close enough. He's going to have to try a little bit harder than that to get past Luke Oliver. Is Dan Tate. He tries it again at hairpin number 1, sends it down, but again, crossover. Luke Oliver comes straight back saying, I know what you're trying. I know what you're trying. Don't worry, I'm all the wiser for it.
Well, Oliver has had his work cut out. He's had to get his elbows out. He looks over his right shoulder just to see if Tate's on the outside. The answer is no. Dan Tate slides it into the Fullerton S's. Tate and Ayres over the curbs. Oliver is the hunted here, and the two hunters are chasing him down. 3 corners to go, Anthony. And Luke Oliver trying to hang on for his first win in 2 years. It's a wide entrance to Mike Wilson. Tate's not close enough. He dives. He tries to at where Ginchard makes his moves, but it's not going to happen. And Luke Oliver for Coles Racing on his seasonal debut takes the win. Dan Tate is your champion, and Henry Ayres finishes his title defence on the podium. Matthew Easton comes home in 4th position. 5th will be Large, just from Callum Porter at the end. And here's the leading privateer, Joe Hunt, in kart 26. He crossed the line next. Well done, Rotax 177 drivers. And it remains 10 wins apiece for Strawberry Racing and for Fusion Motorsport as we move ahead to the last couple of races of the season. And look, there's something we haven't seen today. That is blue skies, ladies and gentlemen. The track is very greasy. We have got 4 races to go, and I wonder, stroke the hairs on my chinny chin, if we're going to see slick tyres before the end of the day. There is on the big screen a picture. That's the only picture that Dan Tate's had taken all year of him, because he's been a very naughty boy when it comes to getting his grid photo taken. But he is there on the big screen as the champion of 2021. He goes to Bahrain to represent Team UK in the DD2 class. And there he is. He goes through. He passes the nose cone check. And now we'll pass the weight bridge check. 177, the only class where if they get excluded for being underweight, they celebrate and give each other a high five. No, I'm joking. There he is. There's Luke Oliver, steps away. We'll interview Luke for at the presentation. There we go, high five, good stuff there. Now, the last time we spoke to Dan Tate on the Paddock Show at Wardenlaw, he was in a lot of pain. He had injured his ribs badly. You can see Jack Marshall there. High five. And there's Warwick Ringham from Strawberry Racing, giving him the congratulations. It was confirmed pretty much before the start of this race, but hey, you want to race out and win it in style. There's from former champion to current champion, Henry Ayres to Dan Tate. And Anthony Jordan is winging his way down to the paddock area to speak to our 2021 Wera Tours British champion. And what a season it has been. And we really do hope that more of the 177 drivers can join the championship next year. Is harder for the 177s because a lot of them, they work full time during the week. A lot of them are self-employed, so to sort of take days off on a Friday to come and practice. So the British Championship have tried to make it more accessible. I think there's a little bit more work to do to make it a bit more accessible for a lot of the 177 drivers out there that compete regularly at club events. But there's a really good atmosphere in the paddock, and as Sam Winter and as a couple of the drivers have shown, privateers can succeed in this championship. It's very close, very friendly atmosphere, and all smiles at the end for Dan Tate. And Anthony Jordan will be down there with Dan very shortly in the paddock. In fact, he's there right now.
Thank you very much, Henry. Yes, down in the winner's circle with our champion for Rotax 177 for the 2021 Wera Tours British Kart Champion, Dan Tate. Weight off the shoulders and chill.
Yeah, it was good. After the heats, I think we had it wrapped up, but the pre-final didn't go to plan. Tried some things on the car, it didn't work. And then we just changed everything for the final and we give it a good shot for the win, but it just wasn't quite enough.
Wasn't to be in that one, but of course, in this race, the conditions are getting slightly better, but out there it looked like a lot of hard work for you. But it's great to see, you're just working well in this championship. Of course, it is a tough class, but there's not many drivers in it, and that's what makes it tough, because you haven't got many people to battle with.
Yeah, like the competition at the front, it's hard. Like, no matter if there was 30 on the grid, I think it would be the same people at the front. And we just dug deep and we've done well, I think.
I mean, talk us through the final, because again, for that one, there was a lot of hard work to work through that one, because the conditions, like I say, getting better and better. Talk us through that race.
Yeah, I got off to a good start. I think I got into third or fourth of the start, and the track started to get drier and drier. And as that happened, I got faster and faster. Leader got away. I just couldn't get another few, maybe a couple of laps. I maybe would have had him, but it was just too late.
You were closing in, but yeah, like I say, a couple more laps, you'd have had him. Yeah, probably. Yeah, we'll do that one as an excuse. But no, excellent. I'm pretty sure that Dan Parker has got something for you. He's going to sneak into shot, and look at that, a nice shiny green #1 plate for you.
Thank you.
Excellent stuff. Anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank Strawberry Racing, everyone at Strawberry Racing. The equipment all year has been unbelievable. And my mechanic Connor Jupp this weekend. I mean, all my other mechanics I've had it throughout the year.
All of them. Juppy the best?
Yeah, Juppy's obviously the best.
Good man, Juppy, good man. Well, excellent. Dan Tate, our 2021 Wera Tours British Kart Champion in Rotax 177. Well done.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Excellent. More racing coming up. We've done with the True Strokes for now. It's time for the Rumble in the Jungle. Honda Cadet is coming up next.
Rotax 177 now. The top privateer, I think, has taken his trophy, finishing 7th overall, was Joe Hunt. The top rookie, finishing in 6th position, Callum Porter. Well done, Callum. Nice of you to wear your race suit. Oh no, his ultimate R1 got a bit wet, didn't it? So you haven't. You're excused. Top 3 time now, finishing in 3rd position, last year champion. It's Henry Ayres. Well done, well done. P2 now finishing in second place. P2 today, but P1 on the season. Your 2021 champion, Dan Tate. But your winner today, his first win in 2 years in the class, along with winning mechanic Vic Oliver, it's Luke Oliver. Whoa, Luke, where's your mechanic? Where's your mechanic? Come on now, Vic's got to come up as well. Vic's got to get a trophy, his medal. Oh, he's got to take a picture first. Hang on. Picture first. Well, Luke steps atop the podium. Vic, there's no getting away with it. You've got to come and get your medal. Oh, he rolls his eyes. Well, I'll tell you what, while you finish doing that, right, give me a bunk up, Hen. If you pop down here, I can't say. There we go. Well, okay, Vic, here we go. Vic's going to get his medal from Dan Parker. Let's talk race wins. I mean, that was an exciting race. Okay, it was only 8 to be on the grid, but I mean, Dan pushed you very, very hard there at the end.
Yeah, it was a hard race. We were lacking it all weekend. We were just nowhere near podium place. Put it on fourth for the final, and then obviously got a good start, bit manic, and then just had to get my head down, not make any mistakes. And obviously Dan was pushing me. Had the Coles boys telling me, shout out to Jensen, you're a legend, man. And we ended up with a win. He did give me a last lap lunge, but
he had a glance. Don't worry, he had a glance. Yeah. He wouldn't be a champion if he wasn't going to have a little look.
Yeah. It was a tough race, but you know we got away with it. Yeah.
Just again, the calibre of drivers. Okay, you've got Henry there, we got Matty Easton, we got Louis Large, there's Dan, there's obviously yourself, there's other drivers that have come through. How hard is it to win? I mean, even on a grid of 8, Dan was saying that if there's a grid of 30, it'd still be the same people because the talent is so special at the top of this grid.
Oh yeah. The boys at the front now would still be at the front even if it was a big grid now. It's a shame there isn't more people doing it. It'd be good if we did have a bigger grid, but it's still just as hard with less people, even though the others have got 30 plus.
Okay, well, congratulations, well done. You can step back onto the top of the podium now. Your Rotax 177. No, Dad, we can come back over you. You've got to stand on your plinth. There we are. Don't get away with it. Turn your medal around the right way. It's what you've worked all your karting life for. There we go. Your Rotax 177 podium. Now, if everyone's happy, if we'd like to ask everyone, if we'd like to Luke and Vic and Henry to vacate the podium, and Callum, but not you, sir, just yet. So, one more thing to do for the championship. If Dan Tate would like to move across and make your way to the top step of the podium, you're going to receive officially your #1 plate, your 2021 Wera Tools British Rotax 177 champion, Dan Tate. A great thing. No. All year you've avoided having your photo taken and stuff like that for the grid graphics and stuff like that. But there's one more thing to do. You won the grand finals as a mechanic, but as Tina from Jag is about to present you, you're now going to represent Team UK as a driver in Bahrain. Your Rotax 177 Team UK representative at this year's grand finals, Dan Tate. And we'll need one with Tina, one with Dan Parker as well. And Dan still can't go because he needs to stay back to speak to Jag afterwards and to have the #1 plate photos with everybody. There we go. It took Spencer long enough to get you a new race suit, didn't it, Dan? Yeah. Thank you very much. Congratulations, your champion and Team UK representative, Dan Tate, everybody.